Maxwell, and he's going against Robert Cornell.
Excellent.
So quite a regular on the stream as well.
Now that's going to be interesting. I think. What are the lists that Robert has got with him? I know he's got a very aggressively statted Fang list, and I think his secondary list was 2T70.
Robert
generics.
Cornell's lists are actually completely different. We have Marique Steele, Omega Lisa, and Countess Riard, so very similar to what we saw earlier, but with a TIE Advance and Omega Lisa.
I think I was getting some people confused
You
there.
were. And then we've got double IGs. We've seen him play double IGs. It's the kind of standard list he picks. I'd be surprised if he picks double IGs, to be frank. That is the list he tends to go for. It's nice. I mean, I know that when we were approaching this event, we had a lot of kind of negative feedback regarding the event. You know, people say, "Oh, you know, why is the rival rule in place? Why do we have to have different factions? I only play one faction." Da 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 da. And it's like, well, we're trying to encourage people to play something different and to try different things. You know, the game gets boring if you're always playing the exact same faction over and over and over and over and over and over again. So a bit of variance never hurt anybody, and there is the option to just bring one list. If you really don't want to bring two, you can just bring the one. It means you're very predictable, but
the Athena Games community is very friendly as well. Like, people are very happy to lend stuff out.
Yeah.
I mean, just like speaking personally, I know that 3 of the lists out there today are borrowing cards from me. So
well, there you go. There you go. You can't complain at that. So yeah, I believe it's Robert Cornell on the right there, who's arrived at the table, his regular spot. I have to admit, it's becoming quite like a who's who's on the Athena stream a lot. Generally, it's the same people. It's always the same people with the interesting lists. It's unusual.
I guess because it was Rob Cornell the Decimator Suntier list at the regional.
I believe so. Yes.
Not that I was going back and rewatching some of the streamed videos to take some pointers on how to do the commentary.
How are you finding your first time in the booth? Let's do that.
It's pretty good. I'm very much enjoying the providing the commentary side of things. I'm aware that when I'm left in the booth to my own devices, I start to waffle. But I'm sure our listeners are going to forgive me for that.
You've been in a position where, because we've not got our usual TO in today, I'm the kind of the person for the rules, education, all kinds. So I'm kind of doing 2 different jobs here at the same time. Yeah. So I'm actually leaving you alone a lot more than I would any other commentator, and you're handling yourself well.
Oh, thank you.
So if I do say so myself,
we'll see how much I cringe watching it played back.
You always cringe when you're watching yourself back in some degree. Okay, so I'm hoping that Max will pick the Arc 170 list.
That would be my,
I would love
my
it.
preference.
We've yet to see an Arc on the stream at all. I want to see an Arc today. If not, we'll probably see one for Escalation, because I actually may take part in Escalation.
Excellent.
For a change. I may have to get David to take... I know that David is not a fan of Escalation, so he'll probably be monitoring the stream that day, which would be nice. So I don't often get to play in tournaments, mainly because I get over-competitive. Which is why I kind of buy the alt art promos anyway, because then I don't have any kind of buy-in, really. I'm just playing for fun. It causes my bank account a bit of hurt, but the things we do for the love of a game.
I'm very excited about the Escalation.
Audio Weasel, you're informed about the game and you're being entertaining, so I'd say you're doing a good job for your first time in the booth. It's just technically your second time, but yeah, you were in on Wednesday, but yeah, point is your kind of first long-term stint, so we thank you for stepping in as well.
No worries. As I say, I'm really enjoying it, and it's very interesting to get a better perspective on what's happening across the course of an event, because when you're there and you're playing, you just really see the list that your opponent's playing in each case, whereas this gives you, like, getting to go through all of the lists for the whole event gives you a much better perspective about the sort of things that are being played, the sort of things that are being brought. It's actually quite interesting that we've not had an ARC on the stream so far, because there's a lot of them out there. And equally, it is very surprising to me that we've not seen more of the Shadowcaster at this event, but I'm wondering if some of that's just the fact that people haven't had much of a chance to break them out and use them as yet, because they are, of Wave 9, I think, the ship that is the most distinct from what has come before.
Yeah, we did have an SF in an earlier round, which is key, and that actually was surprisingly effective.
Yeah.
That was a great match. Quick draws has exceeded my expectations. Everyone thought the TIE SF was the dud of Wave 9, and I actually think it's the opposite. I think they're all very solid ships.
I was really pleased with everything that came out of Wave 9. I don't feel that there's anything... Like, there's one or two cards in there where I'm a bit like, that feels a bit off. The R3 Astromech was the standout card where I was like, what was... FFG, what was going through your mind when you were designing this?
Most likely, there are times when you don't have a focus token and you roll a focus result. That is generally why I think that exists.
And I do think it does have a place in a couple of builds, and the real one I think you want it for is Wedge.
Nice. Oh, Wedge, okay.
You stick it on Wedge, because Wedge wants to be doing damage, he wants to be pushing things through, and that means that he can afford to take a target lock and not waste the focus result. And he's shooting at Pilot Skill 9.
Subasi has asked, why are there 2 factions per player? Good question. We're running a Hangar Bay event, our first time running a Hangar Bay scheduled tournament. What it is, people turn up with 2 factions that use the same asteroids and obstacles, and before the game, both players look at each other's list, then they decide which list of theirs they want to use. So it's kind of, you see what your opponent has, and you pick what list yours is strongest against, but they also know you're probably going to pick that list, so they'll pick whatever list that's strongest against. You're kind of playing a pre-game where you're trying to judge which one to pick between each other.
There is definitely some bluffing going on.
Yeah, there's some bluffing, some tactical decisions being made right at the start. The rival rule states that you must use one of each faction. The next Hangar Bay event we do will be a non-rival rule event, so it will be both can be the same if you wish. Yeah. But for this event, they must be different factions.
I'm very interested to see a reverse Hangar Bay at some point as well, where you bring 2 lists and your opponent chooses which one of the 2 you fly, because I think that will have a very fundamental effect on what ends up hitting the tables.
Yes.
And it also means that your opponent, if they are particularly fed up of flying against one particular list, can choose the alternative.
Yes. Yes. We probably will look at doing that as a third Hangar Bay event. So nice. In the third Hangar Bay event, we'll look at probably testing that format. If it works, we'll do it. If it doesn't work or it proves that there are some problems with it, then we may revert back to our normal 2 rival rule and non-rival rule. But before that, we'll see about doing a reverse Hangar Bay.
Excellent. I agree with you there. The 2 agility on the SF is a little bit painful. But if you think about it, not in terms of it being a TIE fighter, but in terms of the equivalent stat line to some of the Rebel ships, it compares very favourably, I feel, with the T-70. And the generics are decently priced.
Protectorates. Oh well, no arc today.
No arcs.
God damn it. I could have a shifty round and see who else is running an arc and just beg them to be on the stream. Chelsea Fine's running a
single
list.
Which has an arc.
Okay,
let's
throw that in.
The issue.
Let's throw that into the list suggestion, I think.
Fantastic.
So where are the list suggestions? We'll throw that in as well, and then as we get into this match and it gets comfortable, we'll go through that and we'll take people's votes in. Okay, so Robert Cornell. I don't know what Robert's doing. I think he's gone for Imperial because I see 3 Imperial dials there. But at least I can start putting Max's up on the stream. So Max is running a 100 point. Actually, no, it's 97 points. Quite a strong initiative bid. We're getting a lot of initiative bids with these Protectorates.
I think some of that's just the limited number of upgrade slots. People aren't putting any torpedoes on them.
I did notice that.
Which I'm interested by because I think there is some possibilities there. And the thing that I really want to stick on them are some seismic torpedoes.
I can see that.
Because I think they open up an interesting possibility for them. Not least because they get to punch things potentially substantially further away than their normal reach, because it's 1 to 2 with the seismic torpedo in your arc, and then it's everything within range 1 of that, so you can hit stuff on the far side of an obstacle potentially.
So we have another Y-wing in this list. It's Cavill. and he's running Predator on his list, so he's got rerolls, and he gets extra dice when attacking out of arc, if I'm not mistaken, with Cavill. Let me double check that. Y-wing...
Dorsal turret Cavill packs quite a punch, because that's turning it into a 3 dice turret, 4 dice at range 1.
Yes. So I can definitely see why the dorsal turret's being selected there.
Cavill admittedly does require some quite careful flying. Something I found very challenging when I've been using Cavill in the past is trying to get myself into range 1 and not have arc on my opponent. It can be remarkably difficult sometimes.
I can honestly see why you're saying that. It's nice to see Marique Steele as a TIE Defender. When I originally saw the list, I actually thought it was going to be the normal TIE Advance, but it's nice to see a TIE Defender on the board. The TIE Defender variant, I should say. Which is...
Veteran Instincts on Marique Steele as well, so clocking in at Pilot Skill 9, that's definitely going to be a meaningful threat there.
Yeah, it's not often you see him with Veteran Instincts.
I think as well, with Marique Steele and the TIE Defender, for all that his ability to pick 1 of 3 crits is fantastic, don't try and push it.
Yeah.
Rely on those crits just coming naturally from the dice. Build him as a solid, cheap, high pilot skill defender, and then if you get to use the ability, that's just some extra benefit for your points.
Yeah, sometimes you just got to go for that. And we've got a mega leader in there to just completely ruin your day. Enemy ships that have your target locked cannot modify any dice when attacking you or defending against your attacks.
And to no one's surprise, that is Omega Leader with the standard comms relay Duke stealth device loadout.
Yeah, Marique with calculation apparently is quite useful.
It's definitely got some decent potential.
Yeah. Cheap and defender don't go in the same sentence. Okay. That is true.
That is a fair point.
That is a fair point.
I think I'm having my perspective skewed by having flown defenders quite a lot prior to the X7 title coming out.
Yeah.
So now every time I'm putting a defender on the field,
it's cheaper.
Seems this is really cost effective.
All right, and the initiative goes to Max because he has the bid at 97 points, which is brave. But again, as you say, limit the limit.
Interesting. We seem to have 3 ships down from Robert already. Oh no, Cavill's up there already.
Yeah,
I hadn't spotted that. So Max has the initiative, which I think with Fenrir and Alterok has ceded the initiative to Robert, which I think is probably the right choice because that is going to give him Max the positional advantage, and Max really wants to make sure he is making the most of those Protectorate's abilities. I think this might be a tough matchup for Max. The defender is a very durable target.
Yeah, I can see that. It's defenders are a pain to deal with because they have so much going for them now, especially with the double tap ability, which is worth noting. I believe Countess Riad is actually an X7, isn't she? Or is she...
pushed them at X7 there.
She is an X7, yes. So...
Oh no, Predator X7.
She's Predator X7, which is unusual.
I guess you're then not relying on stress. That might actually be Rob trying to counter build against black market slicer tools, not leave himself vulnerable to that.
Yeah, that's a good point, because that is something to consider.
And the Predator's almost as good as a target lock a lot of the time, so you're still getting that
the 1 dice
high.
Yeah.
Well, you're still effectively getting that high action efficiency that you can get out of Riad of the evade, the focus, and then a reroll of some description.
Oh yes, I completely agree. Okay, so there's that. We'll have the overlay up in quite a quick amount of time since I'm able to kind of get these ships up. Actually, there's the upgrades to go through. Always forget the upgrades.
I think the 2 lists we're seeing here as well, both of which feature Predator, are very nicely demonstrating why Dengar is such a strong choice for the Scum, however, because it's Predator, but it's Predator that works against unique pilots for its full effect. And we just keep seeing unique pilots. That does seem to be like those named pilots are very much where the game is at for the moment. And I think some of that's to do with the fact that a lot of the generic ships aren't quite as competitively priced.
Okay, so first movement of the game, and it's a very wide sweeping hard there from Riyadh.
So pulling away from the Protectorates. That's probably a smart move, actually. If you can force the Protectorates to have to come at you either through the asteroid field or burn hard up the side of the board, and you can then K-turn and get yourself into a good position.
I do agree. Right, I'm just going to go through the upgrades for these.
Caval's moving forwards and then kicking the engine upgrade in as well. So this is a Y-wing going very fast.
Yes, it's not often I see an engine upgrade being used on them. It's a nice, it gives a bit more movement, I guess. You are still hindered by the green straits being the only way of clearing any stress that you gain.
I've been pondering for a while with Caval whether to go with engine upgrade or whether to go with vectored thrusters. Because I can see the case for both.
Yeah.
And the lateral movement you can get from vectored thrusters potentially makes that getting yourself out of arc, or more specifically getting your arc away from your opponent a little bit easier to pull off. But equally, you don't have that same kind of forward momentum that you
kind of need.
Get.
Again, the shimmy can actually really help out. The kind of just shimmying a bit forward. You can never discount that. I'm actually curious which one of these is Fen Rao and which one of these is Altera. I'll probably have to run out and find out anytime soon. I have got numbers in the overlay. I'm just finishing up the upgrades, and then we'll have them actually on the display for you. That's the one thing about this overlay. It takes time. And same thing with...
So, the Protectorates have burn forwards 5. They are very rapidly trying to close range here. This is not a subtle approach we're seeing from Max. But I don't think you could really ever accuse the Protectorate Starfighter of being a subtle ship.
No, it's to be fair, that's what we've seen all day from the Protectorate. Go in quick and for the kill.
Yeah.
Take out something very quickly and bring down the numbers that are against you. Even if it's the same numbers, if you've got a number advantage, you have an advantage.
Yeah.
Predator, and then finally we have on... Oh, wrong one. There we go. Finally on a Mega Leader we have Com Relay. And it would be nice if we did that. Duke and Stealth Device. That Stealth Device on a Mega Leader. Unusual. It's not often something you see. Okay, and we have an Imperial list on this right side. And I believe with that, at just about the hour mark, we can just bring in the overlay on the right-hand side there. Let me just quickly...
Do we need to pop the Stealth Device onto it, make a leader?
You are correct there, yes.
It's very easy for me to say that, as I'm not having to do any of the heavy lifting here.
No, it's fine. You have got a good point. I made a space for it and I made an article. I might as well use it. Okay, so...
Okay, so a banking from Caval here, an engine upgrade to just jink around the rocks. I'm hoping that Max has taken that boost into account for the manoeuvres with the Protectorates, because otherwise there is a risk that those Protectorates bump into the back and find themselves in a slightly sticky situation. Not necessarily a terrible thing at this stage, as I don't think we're likely to see much of an exchange of fire, if any.
This is interesting that we're seeing the Empire run away from the Protectorates. No, it's you don't often see lists where one list kind of runs away from the other. They usually kind of just go full balls and start jousting. Then it kind of fits to a normal furball. In this instance, we're actually seeing kind of a runaway mechanic, and I don't know whether that's going to work in Robert's favour. Maybe he's trying to get to a better position where he can judge the engagement.
I think he's trying to lure Max round to a position where Max is out of position and he can capitalise on that.
Oh, yes, definitely. Especially since the Protectorates are so fast and the Y-Wing so slow.
Yeah.
Right, I'm going to quickly go and find out which one of these is Fen Rao, which one of these is Altera. Because I think that's quite important.
So we've got a 3-turn in here from a Protectorate. We will find out soon which one.
A Protectorate.
I'll just pop that number down there, in the hopes that is actually Fen Rao. So Max does seem to have have taken things into account. However, he is now being drawn into that asteroid field, and that is not necessarily wholeheartedly where the Protectorates want to be. It's going to make his life a little more difficult, at least for the next turn. But that was a nice barrel roll there. I think Max has also decently judged that. Yes, he's just clear of the rock there.
That was Fen Rao that just moved.
The one that just moved now.
Yep.
So the one that's close to the rock there.
Yeah, that's Fen Rao. So switch the numbers around.
I'll swap those around, and
already you're learning how to run all this. It's nice. I do want to train all the commentators to do how to run all this.
Yeah, it makes sense.
Okay. Oh,
is that going to be a shot?
I believe that is a shot. That's not what Robert wanted, really. He needed to get more distance, but now he's going to take a shot without nothing to defend. He has got the evade token and a range 3 bonus with a focus. He has advantage on his side.
Yeah.
But it is Old Terok, and you can't discount anyone like Old Terok. And if Fen Rao gets close to those defenders, he's going to shred.
No shot, actually.
Okay, we decided no shot. There we go.
Max is going to have to do some cautious flying next turn, or at the very least some precise flying. Fen Rao can't afford to get caught up onto those rocks.
See ya, Eagle Sai. Thanks for joining us.
Thanks for watching.
So what are the lists we have for the viewer special again?
So the list we have for the viewer special, we have got Jeff Ball's T lists.
The Chihuahua, the Green Squadrons,
the
all
Green
greens,
Squadron A-Wings,
5 Green Squadrons,
or the Crackshots Brobots.
Nice. So 2 IGs.
We have got Chris Neal's
kind of
Suntiafel Academy Pilots, Maulomithil Gunship.
So an Imperial Aces, but no Palpatine. That's a nice combo there.
Matched with a Wes Wedge Hobby triple X list there.
All right, so that's Chris Neal's list, everyone. If you want to keep that in mind.
Sorry, yes, racing ahead there. And then we've got John McPhillips, or Cactus, as some of our local viewers may know him, who is running a Ryad Delta list. Ryad, in this particular case, is a little bit of an unusual loadout with Predator Tracked Beam and Engine Upgrade, and the TIE D title. So not the same Ryad we've seen for the rest of the day. And then there's the Bounty Hunty Party Convoy of a Bosk Party Bus, and then Palb and Torkil in the both in the Hawks. One with Boba Fett crew, one with Greedo crew, both with dorsal turret, and Palb with calculation, which is an interesting choice. I've not seen something like that before, and I'm interested to potentially see that one on the list.
As that Sean McPhillips has the party bus, Bounty Hunter party bus, and the other one was 3D attraction, which is 3 defenders.
Okay, I think we've seen an S-loop round there from Omega Leader.
Yeah, that's very interesting plays here from both competitors. And here comes a TIE Defender,
bringing those
classic
arcs round.
Yeah.
So now we are coming in for a more clear-cut, straight
this is interesting. He split the Protectorates and now has the Y-wing almost on its own. Of course, they can easily turn in. However, that asteroid is going to cause problems for Fen Rao. Old Terok not so bothered, but he can get in and probably strip the shields and some hull off that Y-wing. Maybe even take it down if he's lucky.
I think this is good positioning from Rob here. He's got himself into a strong position, and he is forcing Max to have some slightly compromised manoeuvres, I think, to get the arcs where he wants them. Having said that, those TIE Defenders are, I'm assuming, going to want to do some 3-speed manoeuvres next turn, and may have to rush in a little closer to the Protectorates than they really want.
We've just added Chelsea Fine's Arc 170 and Chewbacca list to the running.
Of course, sorry, I've forgotten about that.
The final option, if people really want it, the top table, which of course the 5th round will be the final round. There's no top cut. We don't like to do top cuts here because it's a very long and intensive day. Only for kind of store championships and regionals do we do that. So it kind of makes it a big special thing. But if you want to see top table, you can vote for top table. Votes will be going through and will be ending at the end of this game. So get your votes in for what ones you want.
Does Fenrir have arc here? It looks like he might. Yeah,
Right.
so that's Fenrir across onto Countess Ryad there.
He's not range 1. He only gets his 3 dice primary, which is not too bad.
Oh, that's all blanks.
That's all blanks.
I was just about to say I'm not expecting much from that shot, but I was expecting a little bit
more than that.
However, it looks like Rob doesn't have a shot back, so I think that is going to be the only shot.
Weird because they are parallels. They should theoretically have arc on each other.
I think there might be just a slight angle on Fenrir there.
Ah, okay. That would buy it. Okay. So far it's been a very quiet opening. Yeah, I'm not sure.
Not anything at all akin to the
nothing
game with Protectorate Fighters we saw previously, which was brutal and bloody and very quick.
Only one vote will be accepted, Tsubaki. I find your lack of paint disturbing. Well, I'll tell you what I find a lack of paint disturbing. I find a lack of paint skill disturbing on this. Not to knock WizKids. I love WizKids. I love Attack Queen. It's just I wish their paint schemes were better. To be fair, they've gotten better, but yeah. The other game has always had troubles in that area. I love how people call it the other game.
Poor Armada, it doesn't even get that.
Yeah, it doesn't even get that.
I'd like to stress I am an enthusiastic Armada player as well as X-Wing.
Tsubasa. Sorry, Tsubasa. Yeah, I know someone called Tsubaki. Tsubasa. I don't paint. I wouldn't say I paint better than the people at the factory. I think I paint worse than the people at the factory. Okay, here's Robert turning in 3 turn. Very skilled positioning. He's managed to catch Fenrir here, but Fenrir is not going to be there. That's my main problem with that position.
I think he is deliberately moving into that position to try and block the 2 turn or the 2 Talon.
Yeah. Right then. I knew I heard... I reached for Tsubaki and I found that somewhere. Sorry about that, Tsubasa. Didn't mean to offend you.
Okay, so some careful positioning of Cavill here, though. I think Max has left himself with some awkward positioning for next turn.
Yeah, and look at this. This is perfect formation flying here by Rob Cornell. I mean, I'm not expecting anything different. Robert has shown that he's extremely skilled when it comes to flying Imperial ships in formation.
I think Fenrir is potentially in some trouble here.
Yes,
and I don't think we're going to see old Tarok getting into a position to use his token stripping ability.
You can't get that. Oh, hang on. There's a hand of weight here. Aha, there we go. Yeah, because we have Amaric Steel coming up close.
Looks like that is just going to slot in neatly. Beautifully done.
So, look at that. Perfect. Mwah! It's wonderful.
There's a reason that I don't try to pull off formation flying like that.
Yes, because the Talon roll, then banking in to look beside, and just, mwah, perfect. It's wonderful. It's gorgeous.
Okay. Now, that's a block on Max.
That's a block.
That is bad news. That is very serious trouble for Fenrir there.
It does mean that the Countess will not get to fire, though the Countess has done a job in blocking, I think.
Yeah.
Max will get to fire first with Fenrir, and Fenrir gets his dice at range 1, so in a way...
Does Fenrir have the arc there?
I don't think he does. Which if he's fighting a Mega Leader, and Mega Leader hasn't target locked, he cannot modify results. So that could be the key.
Now, is adding dice modifying the result? Because I believe adding a dice result...
Adding a dice result isn't.
I don't think it's a range 1, however, so it's a bit of a point. But...
Yeah, there's a 1 forward from Tarek, and maybe he'll be in range to token strip.
If he can token strip, and if by some miracle Fenrir has got arc onto Marek Steel, then this is not too bad. But 1, 2, 3, 4. Where's the reroll coming from? The target lock. There we go. Cool.
There we go. Ding ding. So it seems
they need to do some arc checking here, because if that Concord Dawn Protector title kicks in,
I believe. I don't know why.
Yes, so Concord Dawn Protector kicks in as well.
I don't know why Robert fired there, because it should have been Fenrir to fire first. He has the initiative. I don't know.
So that is a point of damage going through onto Fenrir.
That's nasty.
And is that a stealth device? Oh no, there's a crit going through.
Marik Steel, so Marik. Oh,
and that's what I was saying. Don't try and push the ability. It will happen at
there's
times.
there's a direct hit in there, I believe. Did I see it? No, there's not a direct hit. I thought I saw a direct hit. I'm mistaken. They are all seem to be action ones. Weapons failure. Your attack dice is -1. That's probably a good choice.
I think.
Yes, a good choice for Fen Rao there.
Have they decided that Old Tarok was out of range 1? I'm assuming they must have done because I've not seen any
I didn't see.
happen
Yeah,
there.
I didn't see that happen either. So Fen Rao has taken a hull damage because they have no shield. Ouch. We've seen this a lot. The Protectorates are powerful, but they can go down very quickly if they're focused. Adding result is modifying according to this, according to Audio Weasel.
Okay.
But yeah, here we go. Yes, because you cannot use what's it called? Accuracy corrector. There's one hit. That's one evade. That's enough. That's enough. That'll do, Donkey.
Okay.
That'll do.
Okay. No damage there then from Old Tarok. So do we now have a shot from Fen Rao? Fen Rao is.
I wondered why Fen Rao is only attacking now. It's
2
unusual.
+1 +2 for range 1, so 4 dice. So I think Max was hoping to knock that evade token off Marik Steel.
He should have one left. Oh, yeah, fearlessness. So that adds one, so therefore take away one.
It's Fen Rao giving him the extra dice. And then fearlessness kicking in to add another hit in there. So I think that's 4 hits. That's...
Oh! Spend an evade token on Rick
Okay.
Steel and an evade result. Therefore, that's 2. It's a hit and a crit. The TIE Defender can take 2. That's not what Robert wanted, but at least he's still got a shield there for a bit of buff. But that's close.
Just think if Fen Rao had those mods on there as well.
Yeah.
Like, a focus token would have pushed another point of damage through, stripped all the shields away.
That's one hit from
Okay, so that's
Omega Leader.
Omega Leader.
Is that range 1? No, it doesn't look like range 1 to me. So therefore we can't add an evade result. That's very sneaky. Yeah, you can't modify. So... Oh, hello. Duke
down to that.
Duke down. So Fen Rao now takes 1 point of damage and is now... Yeah, he's chipping away at Fen.
If you can manage to take Fen Rao off the board next turn, that's probably putting Rob in a decent position. If he doesn't, then I think there are definitely some risks.
Well, to be fair, there's one very easy manoeuvre I can see which would make it very effective, and that is Rayard does a 2 forward, which turns that to a K turn, and then Marik just comes in, maybe even turns 3 to engage Cavill.
I think go for the 3K turn is my prediction from... Oh, no, here's Cavill taking a shot across as well. Now, that's going across onto Marik Steel.
Through an asteroid.
Through an asteroid, getting that extra dice, but the dorsal turret and then an extra dice from...
Cavill himself, that's 3.
Good work, good work, chaps. Both Max and Rob are doing a good job of keeping us appraised about what on earth they're doing.
One hit, and this is a very good... there's a Predator coming in. Which Alt Art, I'll point out, that's just a focus. Oh, well, and there's an evade in there, so all moot. And yes, these two players are being very good in showing us exactly what's going on. That's how players should do it when on the stream. Show cards and just put them down, do what you need to do. It's not that hard.
So, actually, that's 2 damage apiece there.
Yeah.
So a fairly equal opening exchange. I think Rob probably wanted more out of that.
Yes, I think he committed to doing Fen Rao, and unfortunately Rao he didn't do enough damage over in a course of time. He did 2, which is something, but it's not enough.
So the question is, if you're Max, what do you do? What do you do here?
There's Fen Rao.
Fen Rao probably does a Talon roll to get round, but that's going to leave him without any actions, which is a risky place to be. Those 2 defenders are probably going to K-turn and get arc on you.
The problem with that is you can't do a... Which way would you Talon roll? To the left?
I'd Talon to the left, but that is leaving you in a tricky situation when it comes to where Old Tarok goes.
You cannot, because unfortunately Fen Rao would move before Marik Steel, and Marik Steel is currently blocking him.
I thought Rob had got the initiative on the movement.
I thought... Well, actually, you're right. I think it was Max gave initiative to Rob.
Yeah.
You're correct, yes. So although Max has the initiative, he chose to give up the initiative into Rob, which is unusual for someone to do that, but it's an option.
Having said that, that 2 tunnel doesn't even necessarily guarantee you a shot, I don't think, if they go for the longer K turns. Because it's going to be 4K from... And that's where you don't do the 3K with Ryad. You've got to do a 4K with Marek. You do a 4K with Ryad as well. Keep yourself in that very neat formation you've got there. There's nothing stopping Omega Leader from sleeping this turn.
Well, I was thinking do a 2 with Countess, and then do a 4 with Marique. That would clear it enough.
That is an interesting choice.
Because then you'd have the range 1 bonus.
You're leaving Ryad just a smidgen open, but that's not necessarily a terrible thing, because at that point you're splitting damage between your ships.
Yeah. He's gone for the 4, so he's doing what you're thinking, which is keeping them together. Which is not a bad choice. It's just an alternative choice.
I liked your thinking though.
Yeah,
that was something I would have not have seen coming had I been in Max's hot seat.
I play different. Be surprising. I sometimes surprise myself. But yeah, that's not a bad choice. I would have then, to be fair, Marique does the same thing. He's still going to have a range 1 bonus. I was just going for a range 1 for the Countess as well. But to be fair, actually, maybe it may not have passed.
I'm not sure about that 2 turn away. I think Max.
You're going away from the engagement at that point.
I'd have gone. So the 2 possibilities for what I would have done there: gone for a 3 forwards and then maybe boost in round behind the rocks. And get yourself into a
at this
strong
stage.
position.
A K turn is the only thing that will get you back into the fight, and when you're K turn on a Y wing, you're doing it wrong. There's a K turn from Omega Leader right there, who's still got a target lock on Fenrau. So, of course, stop modification when attacking Mega Leader. Although, to be fair, I think the main targets are the defenders.
Yeah.
But Mega Leader is the annoying one in that list there. I mean, we pretty much know where it's going to end up. I don't see what the problem is, but yeah.
I think Rob's probably trying to play as precisely as possible.
There's nothing wrong with that.
It's a good approach if, like Rob, you're used to playing at quite a high tier of competitive play. Yeah. So making sure you're...
He is a very top-tier kind of player in the area. I'd say he's probably one of the best we have in the area here.
Now, what I hope is that Max wasn't listening to me and has gone for a 2-turn roll to the right.
Yes, because that would get him in a precise arc.
That would get him into a beautiful position.
And unfortunately now, because
range 1 of Riot for Omega probably.
Old Terok is being out of the game. He's just not being effective.
He's Max going for it. Max is going for the turn roll, I think.
Yep, he's avoided the Mega Lead. Oh, 2 turn. Oh, yeah, it's a turn roll. There we go. Oh, maybe. I think that is out, but who knows? It's close.
That is going to be...
It's millimetres if it is in.
I think that one is going to be in. My gut instinct is saying in, and I think that's an extra shot that that doesn't want to... Fenrab doesn't really want. But there's not a good option to have avoided that. I was wondering there when he'd done the 2-turn if he was trying to 2-turn and then boost in.
Yeah, which unfortunately that leaves Mega Lead out of arc. It leaves Marek Steel out of arc. The only thing that has a shot is Riyadh, who is now at range 2. So, and here comes Terok trying valiantly to get back into the engagement.
Does a boost round to the right, which is probably what you want to do here, Max. Does that put Omega Leader?
I think it would put Omega Leader on one, but it doesn't matter because Omega Leader has target locks.
It has target locks, but it strips that evade token that sat there in the comms relay.
True. That is very true.
Oh, Max, you don't have any shots there.
I think he's hoping that because of where the Tide Defenders are now, they will probably cater next round, putting Old Terok very categorically within range 1 of them, wherever he moves.
Range 2 as well there. So the Fang is where it really doesn't want to be.
Yeah, well, 1 hit is not going to do much.
Okay, that's not too bad.
There's an evade.
There's an evade. Okay. I think Max got a little bit lucky.
He got lucky. Let's see how long the luck lasts out, because luck can be fickle.
Where are these shots going? I'd be tempted to see if I'd got range 1 back to.
It's declared. They're doing it.
Okay.
Oh,
if you've got range 1 back onto Marek Steel, go for the.
Focus results and with nothing to modify, just 2 hits. Stealth device could be going bye-bye. Nope. Stealth device stays. And survey says no. So,
I think if I was Max, I would have tried to push for the range 1 onto Marek if it was there.
I would have gone the same thing. And here's an exchange. It looks to be that they decided it is range 1. There's 2 hits from... focus results.
Because the Duke.
Because the Duke. So
I think another point of damage on Fenrir.
I think that's Fenrir down.
Oh,
it is.
Fenrir
down. It's Fenrir is out.
Oof. Okay.
And it was not the sword that killed Fenrir. It was the shot from the little pop gun from the TIFO. Wow. It's all gone wrong.
I have to admit, I'm not certain about some of the target priority choices Max has been making here.
I think Max has made a few mistakes in his choice here. He could have...
I'd have been trying to focus down Marek Steele as quick as I could, because he's probably the most sizable threat. Because you've got that simultaneous fire at pilot skill 9. Just try and hammer him off as quick as you can. Having said that, Old Terok's still on the board, and Old Terok is potentially a real...
Defender.
Oh, nice. Okay, so that is 2 shields off Ryad, I think, there.
Yeah, 2 shields off Ryad. That's impressive. That 4 blanks. Ouch.
And then I think that is looking like it's range 3 across. Yeah, there we go. Range 3. Old Terok's going to feel a little bit better about that, because the auto thrusters will kick in at that point. And there's still a focus token there. So, yeah, comfortably dodged.
Ding, 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 ding. So, yeah, this has actually really gone all bad for Max. Max is now on 65 to Robert's 100, which Marique Steele and the Countess are hurting on the same exact hull and shield count. But he's got an advantage now.
He's not kept his arcs. What he wanted, I think, to do is to keep the 2 protectorates together, get those arcs both in the same direction.
Here is where he's in a perfect position, because look at where his next target of priority probably is. He is facing the enemy. The enemy's going to Talon roll in or turn into you. There ain't much you can do at this point.
Those defenders have got some difficult decisions to make, because they can't
do 1 forward.
They can't do 1 forwards. The 2 forward takes them forwards a decent distance. The 4K is probably blocked.
And Ryad has to move first.
Ryad's going for the 3K, I think, here. Would be my... Oh, no, just a 3 forward.
I'm thinking he's... I'm thinking maybe you see a barrel roll that may... I'm thinking maybe a 2 forward from Mega Leader with a barrel roll from Ryad. Oh, no, he's toking up on this one. I predict that means we're going to see the exact same from Rick Steele. But I don't think Steele will have any form of arc, unless he decided to K-turn with Marique Steele, which may just miss Terok and catch him in arc if Terok will to turn in.
I think Max has quite badly mispositioned Cavill.
Yeah, Cavill
over the course of this, and it's very easy to do. I've been there myself. I've been desperately trying to make sure that I'm not pointing towards things, getting my arc away as quickly as I can. But that means that you've then got that forward momentum carrying you away from the conflict. And I think he probably wanted to do a bank or a turn in between those asteroids.
There's a 2 from Omega Leader, probably to block a 3-turn or a 2-turn from
I think
Terok.
that is going to have blocked the Talon roll.
Yeah, it's blocked the 2. I'm not sure about the 3. I think the 3 would be fine.
I think a 3-turn might be all right. So if Max has played with that in mind.
But here's where I think we're going to get a K-turn or a 1 bank, which may just miss Ryad. That's my opinion. I could be wrong. That's what I predict. Let's remove that marker. There we go. Get that out of the way. He's marking the position. Same thing. It's the K turn. Exactly like I said. I don't think he will fit though.
I don't think that's going to fit. No,
it's a shame. It's the exact play I probably would have made. But if he does fit, it's an amazing maneuver. No. Oh well.
And there was a little bit of a nudge there. So if I was Max, I would be wanting to just get old Terok nudged back into position, because that runs the risk of
actually bumping. Yeah.
Of your maneuver going from being fine to being a bump. and that would not be what you'd want to see right there.
Okay. Exactly what I said. I thought it'd be a 4K. I didn't think it'd fit. However, if he did fit, it means he would catch Terok in arc, and that would be an example. But yeah. Oh,
trying for a 1 turn.
in a way, the 4K kind of worked. It blocked the exact exchange.
I don't think Max is going to go anywhere at all.
No, I think he's going to stay exactly where he is. But Terok still gets his token strip, so he gets a choice. Strip. Come on, strip Riyadh. She's the one who's going to fire at you.
Yeah, she should be at range 1 there. Take those.
Is it? Oh, he made a mistake. He thinks it's an arc, which it's not. Here we go. First fire from Max onto Omega Leader. He stripped it from Mega Leader. There we go. There's the evades. Mega Leader is fine. Damn. Yeah, Max has got a good list here. Unfortunately, he's choosing the wrong targets and the wrong choices from certain abilities and actions. The right choices could have made all the difference. Good play from Robert. I think Robert's been doing very good in this game.
I think Max may have been intimidated by
Max. And evades all the evades in the world.
I think Max may potentially have been slightly intimidated by going up against another designed to joust list.
Yeah.
I really would have token stripped.
Yeah, here we go. 4 dice, range 1. Ouch! Look at that. That is 4 hits.
And the Concord Dawn Protector title only works when you've got arc on them and they've got arc on you. So this is
it. I think there's 2 evades in there. That's no. 1 was cancelled. 3. That's 3 damage. Terok's gone down to 1. No, Terok's been removed.
That's Terok.
Terok gone. Ouch.
I'm predicting 100-0.
Yeah.
To Rob here at this point. I think this has spiraled a bit out of Max's control.
It's completely gone to hell. There's no way he can recover from this, in my opinion. It's gone. It's game. And it's a shame that we can say that so early. It's 31 minutes to go and left in the match. I think we should probably bring them in here for an interview after that.
Yeah.
But ouch.
Depends on how much Max decides to run at this point.
Really? You want to run with a Y-wing? I don't think you'll get very far. If any, maybe the defenders will be stunned by how slow you're going.
When Max had parked himself the far side, or like the closer side of that asteroid, I was expecting him to do a 3 bank across it. Just take the consequences of the asteroid, you keep your dice modification from Predator, land yourself into a place where you've got decent shots, you are in a decent position to contribute to the fight. Yeah,
that was... He committed himself, and it was the wrong commitment to make. He was going away from the engagement. We saw it. He was getting out of the fight. And Cavill needs to be in there, dealing that very strong 4 dice primary at 360 at range 1. That could have made all the difference with these defenders. They don't have auto thrusters. They have to rely on their dice and their evade tokens. It could have changed everything. Especially with a Mega Leader there. Because Mega Leader, once he's got multiple targets converging on him, he can only target lock 1. And now it's the obvious one which he's going to modify. So Cavill wasn't going to be able to deal with a Mega Leader either.
No, I think Max is going to be lucky to take a ship off the board at this point.
Yeah. Maybe he could probably take down Riyadh, but only if Marique and Omega Leader don't take him down first.
Yeah.
I think he'll get probably 1 shot, and that's it. He's got to make it count. However, Riyadh's going to do her standard 3 maneuver and get that evade token. So it's unlikely he's going to remove anything.
I think we're not going to see much of an exchange of fire this turn. I think Mark Steele is going to he's going to get a shot at range 3, but I think that's going to be about it. And then looking at the state of play, I'm probably expecting Max to... I guess the only real sensible maneuver he's got is a 3 bank into the left at that point.
Can I say this has been an amazing match to watch. Robert Cornell is an amazing pilot of the game. We saw at the start where he led his opponent through the field, had them split up, and then engaged individually each target. He kept Terok at an arm's length away from himself, so he could deal with Fenrau. By the time Terok got in, Fenrau's gone. Focus on Terok, take down Terok, and now Cavill's starting to get back in.
No, it's been a very, very careful and considered play, I think.
It's a masterclass of how to almost play your opponent, almost.
I think we're going back to dials, so there may actually not be an exchange of fire at all.
Yeah, there looks like a large range band between the two there, so I do think there is no shot. However, there will be a shot next turn. It all depends on how much does Max want to get in the thick of it. I think he really needs to go full in first and just do whatever damage he can. Go in hammer style.
I think Cavill's going to struggle to get out of arc, certainly.
Yeah.
Because, there's going to be...
Ooh, 3 forward. Is that a 3 forward?
Yeah.
See, if he does a 4 forward with a Y wing, which is red, he would still have modifications and he'd probably end up beside Riyadh, which would be to his advantage. That's if he thought about that.
Okay.
Let's see where he goes. He's reaching. It's a 3 bank. That actually takes him out.
That takes him. I think that takes him out of arc. So that is not bad, and it potentially opens up the possibility of having shots on the rest of Rob's list.
Actually, he can fire at Riyadh, and Riyadh looks like she's at range 1, and both Marique and Riyadh. And it's better. Be fair, if Marique's in range, go for Marique because he could fire. Actually, no, because go for Riyadh because she can get you next round. There's no.
There aren't many good choices for Max at this point.
No, go for Marek because Riyadh doesn't have a shot on you. Next round, if there's only a mega leader to attack you, then you've got a chance of surviving longer.
Ooh, and a boost forwards. Interesting. I think Max is maybe trying to deny arc a little bit. So if the defenders come forward, or if Marek comes forwards top speed,
he's playing the runaway game, which originally it was Rob that was running away tactically. A tactical retreat, and here we go.
Yeah, I think Omega Leader's probably not getting a shot this turn either.
Yeah, I agree. I do think that's not going to be it.
And then that's going to be... What are we expecting? I think Marek Steele's going to get a shot. And maybe not.
No, I think he would be out, but he's not going to fit in there. It's quite...
I think Max may have just made a very neat play there.
Yeah.
I think Rob may have just slightly overcommitted himself. Having said that, this is not really a threat to Rob's position in this game, but it might mean that Max can push some damage through onto Marek Steele.
He could, with 4 attack dice at range 1, he could outright... Well, he can't kill because of the evade dice, but he can push damage through.
And if any of those are a crit, then that can again change the face of the game quite dramatically.
And that looks a good dicey hit.
1, 2,
focus, predator reroll. There's another hit there.
Is that 3 hits?
Evade, spend the evade token, so that's a 3rd evade in there. So he pushes forward 1. So the last shield is removed from Marique Steele. Ouch. So he's starting to kind of do something. He's chipping damage, but that's not enough. Denying arcs is the only way he could win it. He's not going to win. He's not going to win. He's 2 die defenders and Omega Leader versus Cavill. He can't Predator against Omega Leader, so he's relying on his rolls then. And I don't see, even if Max could somehow take down 2 defenders with that Y wing, I don't see it happening. Because
I think if Max can take Marek Steele off the board, he can claim a moral victory.
Yes. Take one of them. Marique is the one that's damaged now. So yeah. So take Marek down. That'd be the play I'd make.
Also, of the ships that are still remaining, I think Marek Steele is the one that represents the biggest danger to the Y-Wing dying earlier than it might otherwise do, because there's a lot of hull there to have crits pushed through to, and if you're suddenly giving your opponent the choice of crits, it can end up very bad very fast.
I know, but let the man hope for a bit. No, this is war. Yes, that's true. There is hope. Luckily, he can't hear us. So I'm sure he has hope in his brain. You must always have hope right to the very bitter end. To be fair, if it was me, I'd have just called it at this point.
I think that the psychological effects of Rob's list can't be understated, and I think that is partly what has happened to Max here. He's found himself.
This is again, he's committing. He's now doing a 3 turn. If he does a boost, he's going to end up in the area where he's going to turn engaged, and the defender has already turned around and started to head back to where he will end up next round. He's going to get caught in a crossfire, and that's not a good place to be. Of course, Robert could surprise me by turning. Oh, he's turning Omega Leader away, or is that?
No, is
No,
that
that's
a turn or is that-
doors.
No,
Oh no,
no,
it is a
that's a
turn.
Okay,
That's
interesting.
interesting. I didn't expect that. Maybe he's thinking that Cavill poses the most threat, and so trying to get the asteroid for a bit of extra defense.
I think he might have expected Max to do a shorter bank there rather than the turn is another possibility. And he was trying to get an arc in and get the shot in, whereas the defenders are more positioning themselves for the following turn's fight.
Yes, because of course they joust. They K-turn. They don't worry about turning themselves. So naturally, there's another K-turn. The engagement has all been happening down here in the lower part of the map.
And I think that is part of why Max did his approach the way he did. He didn't want to end up jousting the defenders. Even though I think in that exchange...
He did take a target lock then onto Cavill. So he has got a target lock on Cavill. Cavill's just lit up with target locks right now. The alert sirens are beeping and it's not a good sign. There's 3 hits.
3 hits. That bizarre sight of three green dice from a Y-wing.
Wow. And I think, yes, he evades that.
I think that is still going to be some...
That is incredible. I think he evades that.
Does he evade it?
Yeah.
Neatly done.
Neatly done. Job's a good one.
What's going on here, Max? I don't understand.
Okay. 3 dice. So it's 3 an asteroid, so that's 5 for a Mega
No
Leader.
mods, so no Predator, no anything else. 5 dice, there's an evade token there.
Well, but only one evade result. 5 dice, and there's 4 blanks. The dice gods are starting to play a little bit with those probabilities, and I don't like it.
I'm going to be interested to see what happens next turn.
I think it's quite simple. The TIE defenders are going to come screaming as fast as they can, range 1, and just absolutely blast the Y-wing out of this galaxy.
Though it's worth, I think there's an unhinged astromech on Cavill, so he does have all of those 3-speed manoeuvres are green. It does give him a little bit more room for manoeuvre, but even so, I think where those TIE defenders are going to be, they are just going to be in the way.
Yeah, they can get into range 1 very easily, especially Riyadh. She can potentially, if she wants to try and block Cavill, not that probably is an option, I would just see if you can get damage on to convert both TIE defenders on the Y-wing. You're going to do some maximum amount of damage. I'd say a 5 forward probably from both defenders.
It might not be the worst thing in the world for Max if he were to bump into one of the defenders.
There's a 4 forward, so he's not overcommitting. Maybe he learnt from his previous mistake of going too fast.
I think we're going to see a 3 forward then from Marek Steele, and Rob is going to leave things open so that when Cavill turns in, there isn't going to be a collision. Is that a 2 or a 3?
It's a 3. And he can't boost because he will bump with Rick. He'll probably get out of arc of Riyadh if he does go 1 forward, which he is. However, if Robert sussed this, he probably would have done a 2 forward with Riyadh, or even a 3, so he gets the evade token at least with her. And then maybe even try and barrel roll her behind.
I think we're going to see Omega Leader's going to keep. Oh, is that a sleep? That is a sleep. There we go. So Omega Leader's setting themselves up into a position where they can come back into the fight.
Yeah. I think Marik's going to do a 2 or a 3 forward and barrel roll past or behind Riyadh. Oh no, he's overcommitted again, and that may have cost him.
I think that is going to be a bit of a problem for Rob there. I don't think there is any way that he can get a shot, and I think he's going to take a range 1 shot from Cavill there, which gets the modification, and that does have the potential to put some actually meaningful damage in.
Okay, so I think they were just checking for a Omega Leader, and it's not. So it's a range 1 shot. Oh boy.
1, 2, 3. Do we get the 4th hit? No, 3 hits. Spend the focus, spend the evade. You may as well do it. You're not.
Oh, he was firing at Riyadh because Riyadh had the shot. He could have taken that. I think that was a pointless endeavour. You can try and kill Marik Steele, whereas Riyadh, you could only hope to remove.
I think he was hoping to force the focus token off.
Spend the target lock to re-roll. There, looks like that's 4 hits. Ouch. So Riyadh's making her money. And I believe that's a focus result right there. That's all shields down, removed, and a splattering of shots onto the Y-Wings. That's all 3 shields down, plus 1 damage. Push through, it's onto its hull.
I think next turn we're going to see the end of the game.
Yeah. With 4 hull points left, all it takes is 1 defender to get you an arc and a bad roll, and it's all over.
Having said that, it's gone on a little longer than we initially anticipated.
Yes, Max is...
We're going to be down to 15 minutes or less on the round, I think, by the time we're done.
Agreed. But it has been an industry match, I do think.
Yes,
it's been good.
Absolutely,
it's been fantastic.
And I'm very sympathetic towards Max in this matchup as well. I can see why when it came to playing chicken, he was the one who blinked first.
Yeah, I can see that. I can see that.
The TIE Defender, particularly with the X7 title, it is just this really threatening bunch of hull and shields that you just have to try and push through. And it's then this hugely offensively strong platform as well. So
it's... We've seen Protectorate State, and it's kind of been they were wonderful in the test streams and the original stream, but it just seems that they seem to fall apart very easily to concentrated fire. Okay.
I think that is definitely the weakness of the Protectorate. I think some of what we've seen as well is that people aren't quite used to playing them and aren't used to playing with the... And I know I keep saying this, but the fundamentally very aggressive playstyle that they demand to work.
Also, guys, don't forget to get your votes in. I'm now about to post up the lists again. I know we have a vote for Chelsea. I also believe we have a vote for the Triple X as well. So make sure that you guys get your votes in. That's Audio Weasel, Bonjuri, Vernal Humans, Commando Delfano, Eagle Tsai 111, Kanki Isin, Elthor, Outlandish Oddities, Waking Et. So yeah, get your votes in. Make sure to vote again. Just make sure that you get your vote actually in there. We're counting the all at the end.
2 hits through from Omega Leader here. And I think that's one. An evade.
Yeah, that's
an evade. But that's going to be duked down to nothing.
Duke is so good. That's 3 damage now on the Y-Wing, and with only 2 hull left, it's pretty much easy to kind of see where this is going to go. It's not much that can be done. He has gained range from the defenders, but those defenders will very quickly catch up.
Yeah.
And now that he's heading away, that's it. Yes, please prefix your vote with exclamation mark, vote, and then whoever you're voting for. So we've got a vote for Chelsea, at least. So we're counting that vote. So far, Chelsea's in the lead, which would be nice to see an arc. Be nice to see an arc 170. It is a viewer's choice, of course, so please vote now. Now is your one and only chance to vote. Maybe we should have a call centre kind of set up here. I call now. Dial 1 for... Okay. It's been a good day. We've seen some great lists. We've seen a lot of Wave 9, which is nice.
Mostly in the form of the Protectorate Starfighter.
Mostly for the Protectorate. Probably the most represented ship of Wave 9, I think. The TIE SF has made his mark. We've seen that be very effective. And look at that. Again, arc dodging. With a Y-Wing. From a Y-Wing. That's incredible. I don't believe it. I never realised you could set the channel up for us. I will look into that, Woody Weasel. Thank you very much. So far we got 2 votes for Chelsea, so it pretty much looks like it's Chelsea's list that we'll be seeing. If she wants to play, there is an option for people to kind of... we're voting for what list you want to see for the final game, which we have... I posted the list up above. Chris Neal's Triple X, Suntir, Mauler, Academy, Omicron list. Jeff Ball's Crackshot, Double IGs, Green Squadron, A-Wing list. John Caxton Phillips, Bounty Hunter, Party Bus 3D Attraction list. Chelsea Finds Arc 170 list. Or you can watch the top table.
Yes, the top table is always a valid vote.
Yes. And there it goes.
There goes Cavill.
There we go.
14 minutes remaining. So Max did manage to make Rob work for that a little bit more. I'm pleased to see that didn't finish too early into the round.
Yeah, that was quite impressive. I'll be blunt, but yeah, boom, yeah. So we got 3 votes for Chelsea. It's pretty much going to be Chelsea on next.
I think so. Yeah.
I'm going to go and find out if she's okay with that.
Absolutely.
Just to make sure that.
Yes, just that she's not got streaming fatigue.
Yeah, she has lost a few matches, so she may not want to. But,
Yes, agreed. Audio Weasel. That was a bit more of an agile Y-wing than I'm used to seeing. I've always liked Cavill as a pilot, so it was nice to see Max getting some use out of him there, doing some dodges, throwing the ship around. The engine upgrade was definitely helping a lot there as well. Just not quite enough to take any of Rob's ships off the board, unfortunately, but. Fundamentally, Rob flew very strongly there. He made a lot of good decisions, and forcing Max to come through the asteroid field was a strong option. I think Max actually may have made a bit of a mistake by allowing him to succumb to that psychological pressure. But it's hard not to do. And when you're flying a nimble ship like the Protectorate, it's very tempting to start dodging yourself through those asteroids, trying to get some benefits from the cover they provide. But I think it just wasn't quite the exchange that Max needed there. Which is interesting as well, because after that first turn of firing, there was not very much in it. We saw a couple of shields go off one of the defenders, and we saw Fenrir lose a couple of hulls. So it was a bit more evenly balanced than we were anticipating. Yeah. No, fundamentally, Max got a bit lured in there. But again, you don't want to joust defenders. They've got a lot to burn through, and those guaranteed evade tokens improve their durability even more. I'm very much hoping we see something coming through for the E-wing to give it a little bit of a nudge, similar to the Defender, because with the two having, I believe, been released in the same wave, it definitely feels like the E-wing is falling a long way behind it at this point. For all that Corran Horn does still have a place in competitive play, and we've seen the Wes Corran Biggs list doing reasonably good things over the course of the regional season, and making the top cut, I think, at some of the national events as well. Any E-wing that's not Corran Horn just doesn't see the table. Whereas compare that to the Defenders, where we've seen Ryad, we've definitely got Vessery floating around today. We've seen Marek Steel, we've got some of the generic Deltas around, and I think there's some Glaives seeing play as well. That's a really strong, solid range of stuff. Absolutely, yeah. No, the boost to the E-wing needs to be done very carefully, because Corran is on that borderline of being a very solid A-grade pilot, and you can't tip things over too far. I'm very impressed by the Imperial Veterans release, though. It's done a huge amount for the Defender. It's made it a very strong, very competitive ship, which is kind of where I've always wanted it to be. I'm mainly a scum player, with a strong side of Rebels and very occasional dalliance with Imperials. But I've always found the Defender to be one of the ships I've enjoyed flying the most. And since the 2 titles have come out, it's definitely stepped up in terms of the amount I've been putting it on the table myself, even just in casual, like Wednesday flight night here at Athena. I feel that the TIE Bomber didn't come out of Veterans quite so strong, but long range scanners open up some interesting options, and I've flown Tamex Bren a lot. Agreed about Rex Labrath. I'm sad to see that he doesn't get more play. And again, I think he's in a much stronger position with the X7 title than he was previously, because it's easier to keep that focus token for making your opponent suffer. That is a brave build there, Audio Weasel. I'm definitely on board with seeing something of that nature with Rex Labrath, but it's a bit of a point sink if things go amiss.
Sorry to keep you waiting.
That's quite right.
But yes, there are still some games